So we have discussed about select, insert, create statements yesterday, right? So today we are going to discuss the remaining statements. Okay, so first we will see what table we have created. Okay, so already I have one table, select star from emp. Okay, so in which database you are going to work? The database name is demo database. Okay, the database name is demo. So if you want to execute this statement, you can press you can click on execute, or you can press just F5. Okay, so this is the table: employee number, employee name, job, and his manager ID. Okay, and hire date, salary, and commission, something like department number also. Okay, this is the table. Okay, we have this employee table, and we have inserted all this data into this table. If you are not inserting any data in a table, then it will showing as a null value, right? Right. So if you want to update, for example, here it is a null value. So whenever you are inserting this employee information, you don't know the commission of this employee, so that's why you are not inserting any value. Now you know his commission. Then if you want to update this commission of this person, okay, if you want to insert this commission, update of this commission of for this employee number 7369, how you can update? By using update statement you can update, right? Update. So which table you are going to update? Emp table, right? And you have to write down the keyword set. Okay, and the employee, and which column you are going to update? The column name is commission. So the commission amount is 1500. Okay, commission amount is 1500, right? So if you are executing this one, what happened? It will update entire table. It will update entire columns of entire rows of a commission column. For this one, this one, for all the rows it will update, because it don't know which row you are going to update, for which employee commission you are going to update. You are not telling here, right? This is you are updating entire employee table. In the entire employee table, commission column, this is the commission column. There are a lot of rows, right? It will update all rows into 1500. But I don't want to update all the columns, all the rows. I want to update only the employee 7369, right? So you have to write down a where condition. You have to specify which employee number you are going to update, right? So where condition you have to write down, where employee number equal to 7369. So execute it, one row affected. If you want to see the data, yes, it is coming 1500. Got it? Right. If you want to update one more employee, for example, this 7839. Okay, this 7839. For this 7839 also, the commission amount is like 1200. And if you observe here, this guy manager ID you don't have, right? So that manager ID also you are going to update. So at a time, if you want to update two columns, how you can update, right? So you just put comma, and what is the column you are going to update? MGRI, manager number, right? So what is the manager number I'm going to give? This is the manager number. Right. So this manager ID I'm going to update. Okay, so in this way, if you want to update more than one column, you just put commas. Okay, just put commas and add the columns, right? Now I'm going to update this column. Execute. So you want to see the data, so which Which one we have updated? 7839, right? This 7839. So the manager number is updated and commission is updated. Okay, so in this way, if you want to update a many number of columns, you can update the inside the table data. So that's why we are calling this is a data manipulation command, right? So these are all the data manipulation commands. That update also one of the command in DML commands, right? So the remaining one is a delete, right? If you want to delete a row, so I don't want to maintain this employee information here. Which employee information? For example, this employee information. How can you delete the row? Right? Right. So you have to write down like this: delete from EMP. If you are executing this statement, what will happen? It will delete the entire table. It will delete the entire table. So I don't want to delete the entire table. I want to delete only this row, this employee number information, this employee number information. Okay. So then you have to write down the where condition like where employee number equal to 7369. Got it? Right. So now I'm going to execute this one. Right? That row is deleted. That 7369 is not existing here. Right? Because it is deleted. So why we are using this delete statement? If you want to delete a single row or a multiple rows by using a where condition, okay, if we want to delete a data inside a table by using a where condition, you can use delete statement. And the same functionality having for the truncate and drop also, but these are not, these condition, these DDL commands don't have where condition, and if you are applying the these conditions, these commands, then it will truncate entire table. Okay, so if you are writing like this way, truncate table EMP, this is the syntax for truncate statement. If you are executing this one, it will truncate the entire table data. It will truncate the entire table data, right? So then what is the difference? So this delete also, for example, without writing where condition, if you are deleting this one, it will delete the entire data in the table. And if you are write down the truncate table EMP, then this is also deleting entire table. Then what is the difference between this delete statement and truncate statement, right? So this delete statement is a DML command and this truncate statement is a DDL command. And one more difference in between these two is, so this delete statement is not deleting the data permanently. This delete statement is not deleting the data permanently, but the truncate is removing the data inside a table permanently. You can't roll back the data by truncating using the truncate statement. You can't roll back, but if you are deleting a data, then is a possibility to delete, sorry, is a possibility to roll back the data, because whatever the data you have deleted by using delete statement, that will store in the log file. Yesterday I showed you, right? There are two files will create for each database. Whenever you are creating each database, there are two files will come. So one is main file and the second one is LDF file. So this LDF file will saves whatever the data you have deleted here. Okay, then there is a possibility to roll back this data, but if you are applying this truncate statement, you can't roll back the data. And one more difference, for example, I'm going to create as a different table, create table. How to create the table? Create table. So EMP sample, this is a new table I'm going to create, sample table, employee number integer, comma employee name varchar 100. It's a simple table. Okay, right. So what I'm going to create this table. So for this table, for the employee number, so I'm going to create a identity column. What do you mean by identity column? For example, if you want to increment the value for a column, you no need to insert any data for the employee number, so automatically it will increment the data for this employee number. It's like kind of a sequence number. So whenever you are going to insert the employee names, then automatically the employee number will generate, right? So you have to write down the identity. So what is the starting value for this sequence? So you can give any number, 100 or 1 also. So I'm going to give 100. And what is the add up value? What is the increment value for this identity column? I want to give 1, just 1. Okay, right. So now I'm going to execute this statement. So the table is created. So you can see the table. How you can see the table? Select star from emp underscore sample, employee number and employee name. If you want to see the entire full information about this table, so you just highlight this table and click alt F1. Alt F1. It will give the full information about the table. This is the table name, and this is the user table, and this is created time when you are creating this table, and what are the column names, what are the data types, and what is the size of the data type. Okay, so this size of this varchar is 100. If you are going to insert more than 100 characters, it won't allow, right? Right. So the seed value, if you see, there is a identity column on employee number. What is the seed value? We are calling this 100 is a seed value. Seed value means that is the starting value, and the increment value is 1. Got it? 1. So it will increment 1 by 1 by 1. There is no primary key column, right? Right. So now I'm going to insert a one row into this table. Insert into emp underscore sample, right? This is the table name, and values I'm going to insert. So what values I'm going to insert? 100 comma RAM. So bracket close. This is the syntax for inserting value. Now I'm going to execute this one. So there is something error is coming. Why? An explicit value for the identity column in a table can only be specified when the column list is user identity column. Why it is showing this error? The reason, you are trying to insert a value for identity column, but if you are applying the identity column on a column, okay, identity feature on a column, then you no need to insert any value. Okay, you no need to insert any value. Automatically it will increment the value. Automatically it will increment the value. So you are trying to insert only RAM, that is employee name. Got it? Employee name. So for this employee number, it is automatically inserted. See, 100. Here it is Ram. If I am going to insert one more row, say Rohini. Okay, right. So if you are inserting Rohini, what happened? So if you want to see the data, select star from the table name. 101. It is incrementing one value. It is starting the value with 100. So in this way you can insert one more row. 1 or 2. So this way it will increment the values. You don't need to insert the identity column explicitly. Got it? Right. So now I am going to apply delete command. Delete from emp. Okay, delete from emp where employee number equal to 1 or 2. Right? I'm going to delete this one. Why it is throwing error? Not emp underscore sample. The column name is emp underscore sample. One row deleted, right? So you have only 100 and 101. Okay. Now I am going to insert one more row into this table. What happened? Guys, if I am inserting this statement, what will happen? So that row employee name is Kishore and the employee number has to come 102. 102 is the employee number and the name is Kishore. Right. I'm going to insert this one. So what happened? I have one row affected. I want to see the data. Why it is coming 103? It has to come 102, right? So because the sequence number for after 101, it has to be 102, but it is showing 103. The reason is you are deleting the number 102, employee number 102, but it is not deleting permanently. It is not deleting permanently because that 102 is existing somewhere. That 102 existing in the log file. It is not deleting permanently. If you are truncating the table, if you are truncating the entire table, okay, it will start from the starting number. If you are inserting any new data, it will start from the starting number. If you are deleting the data, it will start from the next number only. So whatever the highest record in the past, then it will start again the inserting from that record only. Got it? So right, I'm going to truncate the entire table. Execute. There is no data, right? So if you are inserting this one row affected, so 100 Kishore, okay, I'm going to insert RAM. I want to see the data 101. If you are inserting Rohini, so I'm going to select the statement 100, right? After you are truncating the table, it is again starting the identity column from seed number. The seed number is nothing but this one. Got it? So if you are deleting the entire table by using delete statement, delete from emp underscore sample. Okay, I'm going to delete 3 rows deleted, right. So I'm going to select this data. There is no data. Now I'm going to insert a data. One row inserted. If you want to see the data, what happened? It is starting from 103. Why? It has to start from 100. The reason is, so whenever you are deleting any information from a table, any rows, any data, if you have a identity column on that particular table, in the table if you have any identity column, it will start the identity row from the max number, whatever the max number you have deleted recently. Got it? So that is the difference between delete and truncate. The delete statement is not removing the data permanently. The truncate statement removing entire table data permanently. Got it? That is the major difference between this delete and truncate. Okay. And what about the drop statement? If you want to drop the complete table, not only the table, if you want to drop any object in the database, whether it is a stored procedure or whether it is a view or whether it is anything, whether it is a database also, if you want to drop permanently that object existence in a database in SQL server, you have to use drop. If you are applying the drop table, the syntax for the drop statement is drop table, the table name emp underscore sample. What happened? It will delete the it will truncate the data and it will remove the table create structure also. You can't see the table structure. Okay, right. I'm going to execute this. If I'm going to select this table, what happened? Invalid object name emp underscore sample. Invalid object name emp underscore sample. The reason is you have dropped the table. Okay, you have dropped the table. So now I'm going to create once again. Now we have the table employee number, employee name. If you're inserting one row, then there is one row record is there. If you're coming to here under the tables, you can see the emp underscore sample table. Okay, so this way you can using drop statement, right? So what about alter statement? What about alter statement? Right. For example, if you have already created one table, the table is select employee number comma employee name from emp underscore sample, right? So you didn't create, right? So I'm going to create the table. There is already an object name emp underscore sample. You no need to create again. Okay, if you have the table already, then no need to create, right? I'm going to select this one. Okay, right. There is sometimes it is showing like this kind of red marks, but not an issue. Okay, the reason is something like validation problems. Okay, right. This is the table. So now what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to add one more column for this table. How can you add? Right, so the table having a structure, the table having a structure like one employee number column and one employee name column. If you want to add the salary column for this table, okay, if you want to add a salary column for this table, the table is already existing in your database. How can you add? Right, so by using alter statement, so you are going to change the structure of the table. The changes means like alteration. You are going to do some alteration for this table. Got it? Alter table. What table you are going to alter? Emp underscore sample. And what operation you are going to do here? Add the column name. What column name you are going to add? So salary. And what is the data type for this column? Integer only, right? I'm going to execute this one. Command completed successfully. If you want to see the data, right? So why it is not showing the salary column? Because you didn't mention here the salary column in the select list, right? So there is null value. There is no value for this salary column because you have added recently. So if you want to update that salary column, you can write update the table name, set salary equal to 5,000. Now you can execute this statement without writing any where condition, because there is only one row, not an issue. You can update, right? F5. So if you want to see that information, this is the row, right? If you want to drop a column from this existing table, if you want to drop the salary column, you don't want this salary column, then if you want to drop it, how can you drop it? You have to write down alter. This is also changing the structure of the table, right? If you want to change the structure of the table, you have to use alter statement. If you want to change any data inside the table, you have to use update statement. So that is the main difference between update and alter. The alteration is nothing but it will change the structure of the table, but the update statement, what it will do, it will change the data inside a table. It will update the data inside a table, but the alter, it will update the structure of the table. The structure means if you want to add any columns or if you want to change any data types, you have to use alter statement. Now I'm going to uh, drop a column in this table. How can you drop a column from the existing table? Alter table, the table name we have to write down sample, and drop column cell, right? The column and the column name you have to write down. Execute. Command completed successfully. If you see, it is showing invalid column name salary, because you have mentioned here invalid column because this table don't have any salary column, right? There are only 2 columns, so you have to delete this column from select list. Execute it. 100 Rohini. Got it? Right. So if you observe here, this emp underscore sample table having the varchar data type. The employee name is a varchar data type, and the length of this varchar is 100 characters, 100 bytes. So it will allow only 100 characters as a name. Whenever you are trying to insert any data into this employee name, it will allow only 100 characters. But I want to increase the length of this data type. How can you alter that one? Right, alter table emp underscore sample. Okay, alter table emp underscore sample. Right, you have to write down again alter. You have to write down again alter. Which column you are going to alter? Employee name. And what is the data type you are going to change? We are going to change 200. Alter. Yes, alter the column, and the column name you have to write down, and here you are going to change is 200. Execute it. Command completed successfully. So we'll see whether it is changed or not. Previously it is 100, right? Now it is 200. If you want to change the complete data type also, from varchar to char, if you want to change, you can change char also. So initially it is a varchar, right? I want to change this is a char. Command completed successfully. If you want to see, that is coming to character data type, right? So by using this alter statement, you can change and you can alter the table structure. Got it? So these are the main data types we are going to use in the SQL Server: integer, numeric numbers, varchar, date, time, date, and varchar is for string values and float values for decimal and point values. So these are the DML statements and these are the DDL statements. Okay, so here there is a possibility to ask a questions in the interviews. There are 4 questions. So what is the system databases? Okay, what are the system databases? Master database, model database, MSDB, temp DB. So what is the purpose of this master DB, model DB, MSDB, temp DB? This is the one question. The master DB is storing all the login information. If you don't have any master database, you can't log in. The model database, it is just it will give a copy for whenever a user wants to create a new database, user defined database, that will take the copy of model database. Okay, this MSDB stores all SQL agent related information, jobs information, all this kind of information. This tempdb stores all temporary tables, and this will helpful for whenever you are executing any queries. It needs some memory, right? It needs some temporary database. So that purpose this tempdb is useful. And these are the data types. Okay, in the data types, what is the difference between the varchar and nvarchar? So varchar is a Unicode string, sorry, non-Unicode, and nvarchar is a Unicode. Unicode in the sense Japanese, Korean language, that is different. The non-Unicode means it's a kind of English characters, A, B, C, D's it will allow, right? And what are the DML statements and what are the DDL commands? These are the DML commands and these are the DDL commands. So if you observe one thing, so these DML commands only working inside the table, but the DDL commands, these are working at the table, not only the table level, in the database level also. So in the interviews they will ask what are the DML commands and what are the DDL commands, and what is the difference between uh, update and alter. The update statement will work and it will update the data inside a table. But the alter statement updates on the structure of a table, not inside the data. What kind of structures you can change? You can add a column, you can drop a column, you can change the data type, right? So these kind of structure changes you can do by using alter statement. So then what is the difference between a delete, truncate? So the delete statement, it will it is not deleting permanently, okay? It is deleting the data temporarily, and whatever the information, whatever the rows, whatever the data you have deleted by using delete statement, that will store into log table, log information, okay, log file. But the truncate is, it is removing completely. Once you are applying the truncate, it will remove all the data inside a table. But the delete statement, if you are you can delete a row by row also, okay? But the truncate, you have to delete entire table data. If you want to delete a condition based by using where condition, then you have to use delete statement. Got it? Right. So the drop, if you want, it will drop entire table, okay? Not only the table, if you want to drop any object in a SQL server, then you have to use drop command. Got it? This is about the DML and DDL commands, okay? These are the things, right? Any doubts up to now, guys? Any doubts? Any doubts, Nitya? Any doubts, Malhotra, Rakesh, Vijay?
No.
Okay, everything fine? Right. Okay. Right. So the remaining things we are going to discuss now is some keywords, in SQL Server. The keywords like where, and, are, and in operator, and equal operator. Okay. So these kind of operators, and what is top operator? What is distinct operator? Okay. So already we have written where condition, right? So the where condition, it is going to filter the data, right? Select star from emp table. If you are including this one, this is the data, right? If you want to see only particular this employee number information, right, how you can write down where condition, you have to write it by using the where keyword. You have to write down employee number equal to 7499. Yes, it is giving the entire row. Got it? Because you are putting the select star here. The star here means it will give all the columns in particular table, right? Right. So if you want to see one more condition, if you want to add, and the employee and the department number should be 30th. See, a employee number, it should be 7499, and his department number should be 30th. 30th department number is 30th. Okay, right. So here what happened, if you are writing and condition, that means these conditions should be satisfied, and also these conditions should be satisfied. If it is not satisfying any of one condition, it is not returning any data. A person having employee number 7499, but that person department number is not 30, then it is not showing this row. For example, if you are putting 40, what happened, there is no employee having the employee number 7499 and department number 40. If you are making here R, instead of on or. Or means any of one condition. I want the data, the employee number is 7499 or department number 40. The people who are the having this department number 40, the combination of the employee number 7499, any condition can satisfy, and I need some that data. This is the person only having 7499, and in that table there is no department number, there is no employee having the department number is 40. We'll see, select star from EMP. So there is no 40. If you are making here 20, what happened? So it is giving all the 20th department number, whoever the employees having the department number 20, those rows will come, and employee number 7499 department number, sorry, employee number. Okay, this condition is okay, this condition is satisfying here, and this row is coming, and for this condition it is showing all the department number 20th records. Got it? If you are making it is a and, what happened? See, employee having 7499, this guy having 7499, and the department number should be 20th, but here it is a 30. There is no employee having employee number 7499 and department number 30. That's why it is not returning any data. Okay, right. So in this way you can add any more conditions, and okay, so but it's better to write down in a closed brackets. So whenever you are writing and or condition, it's better to keep in close and open brackets, right. So this employee number equal to 7499, sorry, this data is coming. If I want to see one more employee number also, okay, the search operation I'm going to take, the employee information is 7499 and 7529 also, 7529. So if I'm going to execute this one, incorrect syntax here. What's the reason? Because whenever if you want to set more than one value, you have to write down in, not equal. Okay, you have to write down in. There is no employee with 7529. We'll see. Right, we don't have any employee with 7529. So this I'm going to put here. Yes, these two people's having employee numbers 7499 and 7521. Got it? So you can if you want only single operation also, single search operation also, you can put in, but the equal is only working for single one. So if you want to write down a filter condition on employee name column, that should be ln. So you have to put in single quotes. You have to put in single quotes. The characters and dates you have to put always in single quotes. For the integer numbers, you don't need to put in single quotes. For the date also, you have to put in single quotes. Why it is not giving any data? Right here, that is joining date, right? No, hire date. So with this hire date, these many peoples are here, right? Right. For example, if you have 100 of the records in your table, or 1 crore of the records, you don't want to see all the records. If you want to test some sample records, you can write top 1 record. The first record it will show. If you want to see more than the top 2 records, it will give 2 records. If you want to see 4 records, 4 records it will show. This is the top keyword. It will show how many number you are going to put here, that many records. Okay, this star is showing for all the column names. Okay, what about this distinct? What about this distinct? Right, select star from EMP. So if you want to find out actually how many departments we have, how many departments we have, so you can write department number, right? So it is a duplicate, it is showing 30 30 30 20 30 30, right? So it is repeating again and again. If you want to see distinct exactly how many departments, there is one 30th department, there is one 10th number department, there is 20, right? So there are totally 3 departments. So how you can show eliminating these duplicates and what exactly the department numbers? So you have to write down distinct. The distinct keyword is taking exact department numbers. Okay, so by using distinct keyword, you can find out easily how many departments are existing. Okay, right. So tomorrow we will discuss something about some more keywords. Okay, these are all keywords, distinct, top, okay, in, these are all some keywords in SQL server. Okay, so tomorrow we will see, sorry, not tomorrow, tomorrow we don't have any session. Okay, and so day after tomorrow we have the session. Okay, so I'm going to close this session. Do you have any doubts, guys? Any doubts? Right, so I'm going to close this session. Okay.